The UK and the US have recently extended the reach of the legislation that deals with foreign corrupt practices. No one in the mining or oil and gas industries would ever be involved or wishes to be involved in those sorts of activities. It's very heavily regulated, but the reach is now very broad. Companies that are not necessarily from the UK or from the US can be the subject of the operation of legislation from the UK or the US if they have some form of UK or US connection. For example, they're regulating their banking transactions through those jurisdictions, or they have another connection. It might be a holding company. Companies, I think, are also struggling to deal with the grey areas in the legislation. Many companies have quite a strong commitment to social community obligations. In other words, ensuring that the local community and the country in which they're operating shares in the benefits of the mining or resources project that's being developed. And that would mean building of hospitals or roads or providing livestock or training opportunities. But the question for these companies is where is the line drawn between a facilitation payment, that is a payment made to facilitate the grant of some form of approval, which is a no-go zone, and a payment that is part of a company's corporate social responsibility. For example, I was discussing with a client the other day a request that came in from a local community for the contribution of a cow to celebrate a religious festival for the community. That by itself is not going to be a problem, in my view, but if it were attached to a conversation about speeding up the grant of an approval in return for the grant of some form of in-kind good or service, then the line has probably been crossed. And so companies are having to make very fine judgments about what is a facilitation payment and what is not. And they need to do that against a framework where the legislation regulating it has a very broad international reach.